your heart. Don't be scared of what you need to feel.
Welcome followers and everybody joining me today. Will Scarlett here, and there's something important I've been meaning to talk to you about. It's a bit controversial for some, lots of opinions, and feel free to disagree, but I'd like you to hear me out first. The other day, Not News reported on attacks against Hycathae citizens. Now, I know there have been countless attacks against Hycathae since the last war. We all read about them in our school books, but that doesn't make it okay. And things seem to have gotten worse recently, with anti-Hycathism on a rise again. The situation has never been this bad. Last year we saw a massive increase in violence, destruction and vandalism targeting specific families, Hycathae families. These women and their families are attacked daily by people who blame them for the war, but let's think about that for a minute. First of all, that generation is long gone, yeah? It's over 100 years since the Second Hycathae War, and they're all resting in forests now, so the people being attacked today had nothing to do with it. Second, we would never have won the war without the Hycathai's help. Yeah, many of them actually fought by our side. And we all seem to have forgotten about this. Well, we shouldn't. It doesn't help, of course, that the king, the sheriff, and all that lot are constantly scheming to use Hycathae for their own gain. I mean, look at the Hycathic Salvation Programme. They make it out that it's for the benefit of the Hycathae, when really it's about control, again. They isolate these women, locking them up and telling them what they can and cannot do. Sound familiar? And by doing this, they're treating them as lesser or other than us. They're tacitly condoning the attacks, which then push the Hycathae back towards the programme. Please, don't believe for a second that those Hycathae in the inner circle are leading glamorous lives. They're no better off than us. In fact, they're worse off. You know why? Because they lose the one thing that we still have out here. Freedom. And if you think that's worth sacrificing for the IC, then for Hycathae's sake, I don't know what you're doing listening to this radio station. What I'm saying is, once again, we have a common enemy here. The powers that be who want all of us to be controlled. The old war may be over, but the new one is upon us. A war where we need to fight together, shoulder to shoulder, as brothers and sisters against the one common enemy. The difference is that this time the enemy is invisible. It doesn't come against us with guns or bombs or magic. It comes with spin, double talk and mass manipulation. The Hycathae in our society have done nothing to harm us, yet the powers that be and their mouthpiece, Nottingham News, are determined to turn us against them, fueling this prejudice and bigotry. Why? I'll tell you why, because they're afraid. They're terrified of what we might do if we saw the truth and united against them. Imagine that. Imagine if we just all worked together instead of attacking each other. Maybe then we could stand a chance, because it's just us now, and it's up to us to get better and be bigger people than our ancestors were. But we need to act now, and we need to act fast, because year by year, fewer and fewer Hycathae are left on this earth, especially in the last decade. Their numbers have declined so much that it's uncertain how long these women will be around. And no one seems to care about that. So let's be the ones who do care. Let's be the ones who say no. They shouldn't have to endure these attacks. They shouldn't have to choose imprisonment and servitude just to feel safe. Even if you believe all this nonsense, I invite you to think for a minute and ask yourself, what's the bigger picture here? If you feel hate towards the Hycathae community, where is that hate coming from? Is it your own conclusion, or is it coming from the way you've been raised, the networks that surrounded you, the people you listen to? Ask yourself, who have you been listening to and why? Where has this hate led you so far? Did it solve anything? Did it make anything better? And if you did have a direct bad experience with the Hycathae, then ask yourself, why therefore would you assume that they're all bad? After all, if you had a bad experience with a merchant, you don't automatically assume that all merchants are bad, do you? So why assume the same thing about the Hycathae? Just because they have different abilities than we do. People fear what they do not understand. So how can you work through and overcome that fear? I dare you to ask yourselves these questions. Look deep into your heart and have the courage to change. Throw off a century of prejudice. See past state-sanctioned bigotry to the truth. Hycathae or not, we're all just people suffering together under a cruel, self-serving ruling class. The sooner we realise that, and the sooner we harness the power that comes with that realisation, the sooner we can all look forward to a safer, kinder future together. This was Will Scarlett, and thank you for listening. Until next time, please be vigilant, take care of yourself and those around you, and never stop asking questions.
Look up with those angel eyes. I remember what I'm fighting for. Oh, the victory cannot be denied. You're the fire